I can't seem to
Some of them are hard.
get
What are you trying to do? Sorry.
the raise and lower of the plane.
Is it the one where you have to do it with the right bumper? No.
No, I haven't got that far yet. Which means I'm probably not gonna be able to do that either.
The right bumper one's the one where I basically didn't really do much. I wonder if it's even worthwhile to try to do all these um, challenges. Because some of this stuff, like the one I'm on, um, in this test, we're going to review the attitudes by combining a climb and a turn, and then we're going to review the power settings and straight and level flight by reducing the power while maintaining the heading and altitude. Like, this is getting complicated. Because it combines everything that I've done so far.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
They're very,
how do I go from excellent to
I know, they're
okay?
very particular.
The art of maneuvering a plane.
Let's try that.
Through the air isn't a mystery to you anymore. Now it's time to test the skills you've learned. As you can see, we're cruising at 6,000 feet on a north heading of 360 degrees. Start by descending to 5,500 feet while maintaining a northerly heading.
Maintain a northerly head.
When you feel ready, start descending. While descending, reduce throttle to avoid overspeed. If your speed is in the yellow arc of the airspeed indicator, reduce throttle to idle and pull gently on the yoke to slow down. That's good. Now climb to 6,000 feet and turn to a south heading. On the Cessna 152, you need full power to climb effectively.
Climb to 6.
Yeah, I just got my best score ever, and it's still only a B.
Okay, I'm at 6,000 feet. Because I got the needle on the altimeter at 6, right? Like, yeah, it's not registering. Like, I don't understand.
Mhm. Oh my god, I feel just putting this into the ground.
Alright, let's keep going higher in case. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. Just,
You put your plane in a dangerous
Yeah.
situation. I sure did.
if you hit X or start, you can just hit X to restart it. Which I'm about to do because I don't understand why it's not registering that I'm going 6,000 at 6,000 feet.
The art of maneuvering a plane through the air isn't a mystery to you anymore. Now it's time to test the skills you've learned. As you can see, we're cruising at 6,000 feet on a north heading of 360 degrees.
Cruising.
Start by descending to 5,500 feet while maintaining a northerly heading. When you feel ready, start descending. While descending, reduce throttle to avoid overspeed. If your speed is in the yellow arc of the airspeed indicator, you put your plane in a dangerous situation.
I just put my plane in a dangerous situation because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Alright, let's try this again.
The art of maneuvering a plane through the air isn't a mystery to you anymore. Now it's time to test the skills you've learned. As you can see, we're cruising at 6,000 feet on a north heading of 360 degrees. Start by descending to 5,500 feet while maintaining a northerly heading. While descending, reduce throttle to avoid overspeed.
If that's 55,
That's good. Now climb to 6,000 feet and turn to a south heading. On the Cessna 152, you need full power to climb effectively.
So it's not like on the dial like I thought.
Nice. The turn was good,
No.
but try to climb faster in the future. All right, next exercise. Maintain your heading of 180 degrees. Stay at 6,000 feet and adjust your airspeed to 80 knots.
Airspeed. What's my airspeed? Airspeed.
Go ahead and reduce your speed.
I wonder if my... Is there options where I can maybe tighten up
Your
my
controller, yeah.
controller? Flight, is it flight model? No.
I went into settings. I didn't end up change anything because
Graphics? No. Camera? Sound? Traffic? Data? Miscellaneous accessibility. Control options. Sensitivity, yeah.
That's okay.
I think I got it.
Review straight and level flight to better manage your speed and altitude. You did well, but you can
I
do
did
better.
well, but I can do better. All right, lady. I really don't care what you gave me as long as I finished it, because that was a pain in the butt. I don't have any score. Did my game lock up? I can move the cursor, but I got nothing to pick. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm
no,
here.
I didn't know if it locked up altogether because I can't pause the game.
I don't know if you were talking to me, that's
I
all.
have to quit the game, go back in. I don't think whatever I just did counted. I could see how, like, if you were really into something like this, how, like, people like Conrad and that get, like, right into it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe what we need to do, Brian, we win the lotto, we build you a briefing car.
Shit, I hate that. You know what? I hate this. I seriously hate this. The minute I let go of the analog stick, it jerks up and down, and then I get points taken away from me, and I'm not even
No, I
doing
know.
anything.
Well, I mean, you know how to do a lot of the flying. Why don't you just go flying? You can always go back to that and just pick away at it here and there.
Oh my god, this is so... That's the first time she didn't tell me I need more practice. Yay, I finally got an
Get there
A.
way faster. I missed somebody chatting in the YouTube video, or the YouTube stream. Oops. All right.
Sorry.
No, I don't know when it's not your fault. I don't know when it happened because I didn't notice it.
Basic handling, I'm at 50%.
I'm at 95, but I've got probably more sections done than you do. Oh, my final test, I only got a B. I'll try that again. Watch me end up doing worse.
That's what happened to me 11 times in a row.
Yeah. Oh, one of them, Brian. I bet you I did one of them close to 20 times before I finally was like, fine, done. All right.
The art of maneuvering a plane through the air isn't a mystery to you anymore. Now it's time to test the skills you've learned.
So I'm just going to tell you, when you get to the final part in the first one where you do, it says that you're flying at 6,000 feet. Notice on the altimeter that the needle is pointing at 0. So that when she says to drop it down to 5,500. Oh, you renewed your script. Thank you. Oh, 7 months. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
She'll tell you to drop it down to 5,500. Just watch your needle.
Yeah.
Watch, okay. So where your needle is when you start the exercise, that's where you're going to have to get it back to. So just pay attention because it's not. I figured it was just to get it to the 6, that would be 6,000. Apparently not. Which makes no sense.
Start by descending to 5,500 feet
I need to hear
while
what she wants me to do,
maintaining a
though, so-
northerly heading. While descending, reduce throttle to avoid overspeed. If your speed is in the yellow arc of the airspeed indicator, you put your plane in a dangerous situation. Start by descending to 5,500 feet while maintaining a northerly heading. While descending, reduce throttle to avoid overspeed.
Oh, God.
If your speed is in the yellow arc of the airspeed indicator, reduce throttle to idle and pull gently on the yoke to slow down. That's okay. Now climb to 6,000 feet and turn to a south heading. On the Cessna 152, you need full power to climb effectively. You can start the climb when you're ready. You put your plane in a
I
dangerous
just put my plane in
situation.
a dangerous situation. Well, let's restart that again, shall we? I don't know what I did to do that, but she wasn't a fan of it.
The art of maneuvering a plane through the air isn't a mystery to you anymore. Now it's time to test the skills you've learned. As you can see, we're cruising at 6,000 feet on a north heading of 360 degrees. Start by descending to 5,500 feet while maintaining a northerly heading. While descending, reduce throttle to avoid overspeed. If your speed is in the yellow arc of the airspeed indicator, reduce throttle to idle and pull gently on the yoke to slow down. That's good. Now climb to 6,000 feet and turn to a south heading. On the Cessna 152, you need full power to climb effectively. You put your plane in a dangerous situation.
How?
Now climb to 6,000 feet and turn to a south heading. On the Cessna 152, you need full power to climb effectively. Nice. All right, next exercise.
Ooh.
Maintain your heading of 180 degrees. Stay at 6,000 feet and adjust your airspeed to 80 knots.
Okay.
All right. That was
Oh,
excellent.
she liked that one. Oh, done. Oh, I got an A. Once you kind of, sometimes you have to fail it a couple times to figure out what it is they really want you to do.
Yep.
All right. Training video. So I think that finishes the first part.
Shit.
Uh-oh. I have to learn to take off and land now. There's a lot to these tutorials.
Yep.
Maybe for Christmas, if you're still interested, maybe what I'll do for Christmas is try to find the yoke and foot pedal combo.
Okay.
If that's something you would want.
Let's take a moment to talk about taxiing. Taxiing refers to moving the aircraft on the ground under its own power. In particular, getting from the ramp out to the hold short point on the edge of the runway. Steering on the ground is managed through the rudder pedals. That's right, unlike driving a car, we turn by using our feet. Okay, ready? With the throttle idle, release your parking brake. Okay. Now, gently increase throttle to get the aircraft moving. Go easy on your throttle. Use your rudder pedal to turn left and enter the taxiway. As you increase power, watch the tachometer and make sure to stay around 1,000 RPM.
Nah.
Unfortunately, one of your wheels crossed out of the taxiway.
Let me restart that. I went off. I'm having visions of us. Remember the other night we were watching that TV show, the airplane,
Yeah.
and the
Let's
taxiing
take a moment
issue.
to talk about taxiing. Taxiing refers to moving the aircraft
Yeah.
on the ground under its own power. In particular, getting from the ramp
do I
out to
find
the
my
hold short
RPMs?
point on the edge of the runway. Steering on the ground is managed through the rudder pedals. That's right, unlike driving a car, we turn by using our feet. Okay, ready? With the throttle idle, release your parking brake.
I did.
Okay. Now, gently increase throttle to get the aircraft moving. All right. Use your rudder pedal to turn left and enter the taxiway. As you increase power, watch the tachometer and make sure to stay around 1,000 RPM.
Yeah, I was going way too fast before.
Hmm.
I'm learning how to taxi.
Now test the brakes.
Test the brakes.
Good. Brakes checked. Taxi to the next exit, then come to a stop. Remember to control your speed with throttle and brakes. See the crossing in front of us? Stop before it as if traffic was coming off the runway.
Okay, so they're very specific. But I suppose you have to be with planes.
Yeah. Oh.
Why aren't I going? Okay. I don't know what my issue is. It's like I'm stuck.
Oh my god. I'm ready to just.
Alright, taxi to holding point Alpha 1 next. It's at the far end of the airport near the head of runway 21. Stay as close as possible to the taxiway center marked by the yellow line, and watch your speed.
Going to holding point A1.
After the right turn, come to a stop before the hold short point and prep for takeoff. Watch your speed.
Oh no.
Watch your speed.
Yep.
Unfortunately, one of your
Oh,
wheels
wheels
crossed
went
out of the
out.
taxiway. Alright, taxi to holding point Alpha 1 next. It's at the far end of the airport near the head of runway 21. Stay as close as possible to the taxiway center marked by the yellow line, and watch your speed. After the right turn, come to a stop before the hold short point and prep for takeoff.
Oh,
That was good taxiing. The next challenge will be to keep the aircraft under control while at full throttle for
okay,
takeoff.
now I gotta take off. Oh, I got a B. I'll take it, I guess. Oh god, an A was like... Yeah, I was a ways away from getting an A. Well, what are you working on?
The same one I've been working on for the last 20 minutes. I just got my best score ever of turn left and turn right, but it's still a B.
Well, why don't you move on to the next one? You
Like
can always go back.
I'm really not enjoying this, like, at all.
Why don't you just try go flying or something?
There's an old saying I like. A mile of road will take you
Yeah,
a
maybe.
mile. A mile of runway will take you anywhere. Taking off isn't hard, but there are a few key points to remember. First, we always take off into the wind, which won't be an issue on a calm day like today. Second, before we enter a runway, we always make sure it's clear. Check to the right to see if a vehicle is on the runway, and to the left to make sure no other planes are approaching. Everything looks good.
Step
no
one
cross
is make
traffic.
sure the runway's
Go ahead
clear.
and taxi into position. Now slowly
That is
taxi
important.
onto the runway and align the plane with the center line. Then stop your plane just after the number 21. Let's position the plane for takeoff. Let's position the plane for takeoff.
Oh shit. I had the emergency brake on. Uh-oh.
That would do it.
I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I gotta restart this. I really don't know what I'm supposed to do. Alright.
There's an old saying I like. A mile of road will take you a mile.
She tells me to
A
stop
mile
at a
of
certain
runway
marker.
will take you anywhere. Taking off isn't hard, but there are a few key points to remember. First, we always take off into the wind, which won't be an issue on a calm day like today. Second, before we enter a runway, we always make sure it's clear. Check to the right to see if a vehicle is on the runway, and to the left to make sure no other planes are approaching.
Okay.
Everything looks good, no cross traffic. Go ahead and taxi into position. Now slowly taxi onto the runway and align the plane with the center line. Then stop your plane just after the number 21.
After the number 21. Okay.
What are you taught?
Keep working on it. You'll get better. All right, let's do this.
Break when I
Apply
need
full
to.
power and I'll walk you through the takeoff as we go. Use your rudders to stay on the center line and keep pushing power until you reach 55 knots. Good. Now gently pull back on the yoke.
Guess what? I think I've taken flight.
Pull back on the yoke to take off. And we're airborne.
I'm airborne.
Line up the top of your instrument panel so it's a couple of inches above the horizon. That'll pitch us.
Oh.
You put your plane in a dangerous situation.
Dangerous situation.
All right, let's do this.
Restart. Because I honestly don't know, like, if you know how they tell you your plane's in a dangerous spot and they reset you. I don't know if that counts against you, or if they go from.
There's an old saying I like. A mile of road will take you a mile. A mile of runway will take you anywhere. Taking off isn't hard, but there are a few key points to remember. First, we always take off into the wind, which won't be an issue on a calm day like today.
Yeah, I don't know.
Second, before we enter a runway, we always make sure it's clear. Check to
I'm
the
ready to
right
shut
to
this
see if
off,
a
but
vehicle is on the runway.
That bad.
And to the left to make sure no other planes are approaching.
Yeah, that bad.
Everything looks good, no cross traffic. Go ahead and taxi into position. Now slowly taxi onto the runway and align the plane with the center line. Then stop your plane just after the number 21.
Well, is it just the tutorial stuff, or
Yep.
don't bother doing the tutorial stuff?
Oh, okay, so let's just not do the tutorial stuff.
Oh?
Keep working on it, you'll get better. All right, let's do this. Apply full power and I'll walk you through the takeoff as we go. Use your rudders to stay on the center line and keep pushing power until you reach 55 knots. Good. Now gently pull back on the yoke. Pull back on the yoke and we're airborne. Line up the top of your instrument panel so it's a couple of inches above the horizon. That'll pitch us up and set a good climb attitude. Focus on flying straight. Use your rudders to keep the runway heading of 210 degrees. Maintain 75 knots and we'll reach our target altitude of 5,500 feet in no time. You put your plane in a dangerous situation. All right, let's do this. Apply full power and
Oh, I messed up somewhere. There's next to no room for error whatsoever.
there's an old saying I
No,
like.
I'm starting to think
A
this
mile
isn't
of
meant for
road will take you
controllers.
a mile. A mile of runway will take you anywhere. Taking off isn't hard, but there are a few key points to remember. First,
No,
we
but the
always
thing
take
is,
off
like,
into the wind.
if you're just
which
flying,
won't be an issue on a
if
calm day
you
like today.
oversteered a little bit, that
Second,
you're not going to get
before we
penalized
enter a
and you're not going
runway,
to get
we
reset
always make
because
sure it's clear. Check to the right to see if
you know
a
what I mean?
vehicle is
As
on
long
the
as
runway.
you're up and down,
And to the left to make sure no other planes are approaching.
like
No, I get that, but
Everything looks
it's
good,
frustrating
no cross traffic.
because
Go ahead
The
and taxi
analog
into
sticks
position.
are so
Yeah.
sensitive.
Now slowly taxi onto the runway and align the plane with the center line. Then stop your plane just after the number
And I couldn't
21.
find the number 21. There's a giant 21 on the pavement. Ooh, I think I actually stopped.
Keep working on it. You'll get better.
She said, keep working on it. You'll get better.
All right, let's do this. Apply full power and I'll walk you through the takeoff as we go.
Mm-hmm.
Use your rudders to stay on the center line and keep pushing power until you reach 55 knots.
What, Owen? What?
Good.
Microsoft
now
Flight
gently pull
Simulator.
back on the yoke.
It's like, what are you playing?
Pull back on and we're airborne. Line up the top of your instrument panel so it's a couple of inches above the horizon. That'll pitch us up and set a good climb attitude. Focus on flying straight. Use your rudders to keep the runway heading of 210 degrees. Maintain 75 knots and we'll reach our target altitude of 5,500 feet in no time.
I'm gonna try flying them up.
Alrighty. I don't know.
You put your
I just
plane
put
in
my
a
plane in
dangerous
a dangerous
situation.
situation again. I don't know
All right,
what
let's
I
do
did,
this.
though.
Apply full power and I'll walk you through the takeoff as we go.
I don't know what I did.
Use your rudders to stay on the center line and keep pushing power until you reach 55 knots.
Okay.
Good. Now gently pull back on the yoke. And we're airborne.
Okay.
Line up the top of your instrument panel so it's a couple of inches above the horizon. That'll pitch us up and set a good climb attitude. Focus on flying straight. Use your rudders to keep the runway heading of 210 degrees. Maintain 75 knots. You put your plane in a dangerous situation. All right,
No,
let's do this.
not do this right
Apply
there. I
full
wanna know
power
what
and
I'm
I'll walk you
looking
through
at,
the takeoff
that
as we
I'm doing
go.
something wrong. So,
Go full throttle.
yeah, I will. Just give me a second here, lady. She's saying to keep it 210 degrees.
Go full throttle.
I'm going full throttle.
Use your rudders to stay on the center line and keep pushing power until you reach 55 knots. Good. Now gently pull back on the yoke.
Okay, that wasn't so gently, but I pulled back.
And we're airborne. Line up the top of your instrument panel so it's a couple of inches above the horizon. That'll pitch us up and set a good climb attitude. Focus on flying straight. Use your rudders to keep the runway heading of 210 degrees. Maintain 75 knots and we'll reach our target altitude of 5,500 feet in no time.
Thanks for the follow, Anna Simo. Appreciate it.
in a dangerous situation.
Again?
All right, let's do this. Apply full power and I'll walk you through the takeoff as we
I
go.
may have to just go flying too.
Yeah, I gave up because it's
Use your rudders
frustrating
to
as
stay on
hell.
the center line and keep pushing power until you reach 55 knots. Good. Now gently pull back on the yoke.
Oh, that was one of my better takeoffs.
And we're airborne.
Oh, I can take off great when I don't have her tell me what
Yeah.
she wants me to do.
Line up the top of your
No,
But I'm
I
being
know.
serious.
panel
Like,
so it's a
I
couple
have
of
no
inches
problem
above the
taking off.
horizon. That'll pitch us up and set a good climb attitude. Focus on flying straight. Use your rudders to keep the runway heading of 210 degrees. Maintain 75 knots and we'll reach our target altitude of 5,500 feet in no time. You put your plane in a dangerous situation. All right, let's do this. Apply full power and I'll walk you through the takeoff as
This
we go.
woman's on crack.
Use your rudders to stay on the center line and keep pushing power until you reach 55 knots.
I gotta try to take off again.
Good. Now gently pull back on the yoke. And we're airborne. Line up the top of your instrument panel so it's a couple of inches above the horizon. That'll pitch us up and set a good climb attitude. Focus on flying straight. Use your rudders to keep the runway heading of 210 degrees. Maintain 75 knots.
Oh,
You put your plane in a dangerous situation. All right, let's do this. Apply full power and I'll walk you through the takeoff as we go. Use your rudders to stay on the center line and keep pushing power until you reach 55 knots.
okay.
Good. Now gently pull back on the yoke. And we're airborne. Line up the top of your instrument panel so it's a couple of inches above the horizon. That'll pitch us up and set a good climb attitude. Focus on flying straight. Use your rudders to keep the runway heading of 210 degrees. Maintain 75 knots and we'll reach our target altitude of 5,500 feet in no time.
Oh,
You put your plane in a dangerous
I think
situation.
I'm not getting to where she wants me
All
to
right,
be in
let's do
time.
this. Apply full
And I think
power
that's
and
why
I'll
I
walk
run
you
out of
through the takeoff
airspace.
as we go.
I think. Because I'm not doing
Use your
anything
rudders to stay on the center line and keep pushing power until you reach 55 knots.
to make it, like I'm not going up and down, like,
Good. Now gently pull back on the yoke. And we're airborne. Line up the top of your instrument panel so it's a couple of inches above the horizon. That'll pitch us up and set a good climb attitude. Focus on flying straight. Use your rudders to keep the runway heading of 210 degrees. Maintain 75 knots and we'll reach our target altitude of 5,500 feet in no time.
longest I've gone.
Okay, 5,500
Got it.
feet. You've reached your target altitude.
Yay!
Good job.
I got a B. I'll take it. That's tricky. Take
Yep.
off. I thought I did way better than that. Okay. Dead stick landing. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. You should never have the word dead in something to do with flying.
That is true.
Thanks, Conrad. Conrad said good luck.
Hey, Conrad.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm doing what the woman tells me to do, and she's really not my friend right now because she's very particular. Oh god, I gotta land.
For this landing exercise, I want you to focus on the yoke only. We're close enough to the runway to land safely without adding any throttle. Maintain a speed of around 65 knots. Pitch down if you're going too slow. Pitch up if you're too fast.
How do I tell if I'm aligned with the runway or not? Because I'm not like looking at the center of the plane.
Keep your airspeed at 65 knots. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare. To flare means
That's
to
a
raise the
Conrad
nose of
question,
the
since
aircraft
he's
to
there.
slow your descent for
Me,
a softer
I'm
landing, but
77
without ever leveling
kilometers
off or
away
climbing.
from the Moncton
The
Airport.
main landing
I'm
gear will
lined up
touch down
straight, but I
before the
don't know what's
nose wheel
happening.
does. We're coming up on flare height. Resist the temptation to pull back. Now focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I
Nice.
did it.
Now apply the brakes to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop.
Stay in the center line. Oh, you got high hopes, lady. I did it, and I didn't crash, and I didn't explode.
I think a bit more
But
practice
she
may
thinks I
be a
need
good
a lot more
idea.
practice.
Keep in mind that approaching the runway at the right speed is key to a good
Yeah.
landing.
Speed, approach, the... Oh, I gotta see. She's saying that your approach and your speed... Yay! Keep the center line between your knees. Between my knees. Like,
Why am I stalling? What is going
if
on?
A increases your throttle, B decreases your throttle, if that's any help.
No, I know. I got a flight assistant in front of me that I can't shut off now.
Okay.
For this landing
Like-
exercise, I want you to focus on the yoke only.
There.
We're close
Okay.
enough to the runway to land safely without adding any throttle. Maintain a speed of around 65 knots. Pitch down if you're going too slow. Pitch up if you're too fast.
Okay. So, okay, I was trying to line up the center of the plane. I want to line up the like me. There's like a little arrow at the top, I guess. Gotcha.
Where do you see a little arrow at the
It
top?
could just be during the tutorials, maybe.
Keep your airspeed at 65 knots.
Susan,
When
I'm
you're
looking
10
at your
feet above
screen.
the
my other
runway,
thing's covering
it's
it.
time to flare. To flare means to
Huh.
raise the nose of the aircraft to slow your descent for a softer landing, but without ever leveling off or climbing. The main landing gear will touch down before the nose wheel does. We're coming up on flare height. Resist the temptation to pull back. Now focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
Oh, that one didn't go well. That one didn't go well.
Nice.
That one didn't go well at
Now
all.
apply the brakes to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop.
Right about now they'd be sending it.
Oh,
Right
no.
about now they'd be sending out the fire trucks and shit.
Yeah.
Oh god. Stand the.
I think a bit more practice may be a good
Conrad's
idea.
like, ouch.
Keep in mind that approaching the runway at the right
Yeah.
speed is key
I
to a
don't
good
think I
landing.
scored better that time. Just gonna. No. Wait. It says it was my best score. I call shenanigans in that. Must have been a crosswind or something. I'll try that again. So it's like, do I pull back on the yoke then? She's saying not to, but if I don't, then I'm going to be like the whole front end of me. I'm going to be...
For this landing exercise,
I want to
want you to
smooth land. I
focus
don't
on
want
the
to like
yoke
bounce
only.
down.
We're close enough to the runway to land safely without adding any
I don't want
throttle.
to like...
Maintain a speed of around 65 knots.
I don't wanna
Pitch
bounce
down if
down
you're
the
going too
runway.
slow. Pitch up if you're too fast.
I am aligned with the runway. I am maintaining 65 knots. She should be very happy with me right about now. Conrad's wondering what you're flying. Plane?
Keep your airspeed at 65 knots. When you're
twin
10 feet
prop
above the runway, it's time to
from
flare.
Halifax
To flare
to
means to raise the
Moncton.
nose of the aircraft to slow your descent for a softer landing, but without ever leveling off or climbing. The main landing gear will touch down before the nose wheel does.
Oh, I'm not aligned anymore.
We're coming up on flare height. Resist the temptation to pull back. Now focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
Oh, snap! That's the first time that one came up.
I just saw you flip end for end, it looked like.
Let's retry that one.
Yeah, that didn't
No.
go so well.
Maybe I should just take my C and move on.
For this landing exercise, I want you to focus on the yoke only. We're close enough to the runway to land safely without adding any throttle.
So
Maintain a
Conrad, can
speed
the
of around
PC
65 knots.
is the PC
Pitch down
game
if you're going too
cross-platform
slow.
with this one?
Pitch
You know,
up if you're
I think
too
it is,
fast.
His is still updating, he says. I could have swore I read that it was, Bri.
because I'm also wondering how many people you can get in one game.
That? I don't know.
Keep your airspeed
Yeah, he's
at
saying he thinks
65
so.
knots.
Okay, I'm
When you're 10 feet above the
36
runway, it's time
kilometers
to
away
flare.
from Moncton.
To flare means to raise the nose of the aircraft to slow your descent for a softer landing, but without ever leveling off or climbing. The main landing gear will touch down before the nose wheel does. We're coming up on flare height. Resist the temptation to pull back. Now,
I'm
focus
sideways,
on the end
woman.
of the runway.
He says lots. We could have like a whole squad.
Okay.
How did I do this so smoothly and so nicely the first time?
For
He's
this
been in
landing
groups of
exercise,
flights with
I want you
dozens
to
of people.
focus on the yoke only. We're close enough to the
Wow.
runway to land safely without adding any throttle.
Were they all
Maintain a
passengers in your
speed of
plane?
around 65 knots. Pitch
That's
down
true.
if you're going
True.
too slow.
Were they
Pitch up
flying
if you're
planes
too
or just
fast.
like in your plane?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to try. I think I'd be more. My speed is more air flight stewardess simulator, where I just go from seat to seat and offer people a drink. I think I could handle that much better.
I'm aligned with the runway.
Keep your airspeed at 65 knots. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare. To flare means to raise the nose of the aircraft to slow your descent for a softer landing, but without ever leveling off or climbing. The main landing gear will touch down before the nose wheel does. We're coming up on flare height. Resist the temptation to pull back.
You know what you need?
Now
You need that
focus
little
on the end of the
beam that comes
runway
out
and
that
pull
brings
back
in the
slightly on the
autopilot to
yoke
bring it
to
in
aim the
automatically.
nose
Oh, that was a
just
Like
above
good
the one
one.
that was off in that Mayday airline
Nice.
disaster.
Now apply the brakes to slow
That's
us
what you
down and
need.
bring the plane to a stop.
Oh, I did awesome on this one, I have to say. Everybody survived.
Well
She
done.
said,
But there's room
"Shut
for
up,
improvement.
woman."
Keep in mind that approaching the runway at the right speed is key to a good landing.
Maybe my co-pilot will be in charge of landing. I got a B. That's better than before.
It's good.
What else does she want me to do? That was dead. Landing without elevator. What does that mean? So many things. Manage glide path on the final approach. Flare the aircraft to touchdown. Woo! Okay, brake after landing to end the flight safely. You'll be placing conditions that will allow you to focus on the throttle to manage the glide. All right. People who teach people to fly must have like a death wish. Or like zero fear.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, I do realize that they can take over the plane at any point. But can you imagine being in the plane with me right now?
In this landing exercise, I want you to focus on
No.
staying on the glide path using the throttle only. Smooth action on the throttle is key for remaining on the correct glide path. If you find yourself too high, reduce your power. If you're too low, increase it. Remember
I
though,
am
always
way
make
off
soft
target
corrections.
here.
You don't want to overcompensate.
I probably want to be over there. Let's just ride this
See
out
what
and see
happens.
what happens.
What's gonna happen? I'm trying to align with runway.
Now you can use the elevator to land.
I can use the elevator. What the hell are you talking about, woman?
Reduce throttle to idle. Now focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
Oh,
Nice. Now apply the brakes to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop.
For extra guidance, use the fly assist panel in the toolbar.
You did
Toolbar
well,
should be up at the
but
top.
you can do better.
No, I know that.
I got a B. Some of this stuff, I'm like, I'm just glad I landed. Okay. I'm not doing too well with the mastery on this stuff though. Combine the, ooh. The final thing in this section is to take my first solo flight.
It's asking me if I copy or not. Like, I don't know what's going on.
All right, let's see if we can't mess this one up. Yeah, Kame, we're gonna need some lessons in this stuff. All right.
My first instructor used to say, the best part of flying is landing in one piece. Today, you're in charge of bringing us in for a safe landing. And I've already set us up in landing configuration at 65 knots with 10 degrees of flaps and idle power. Keep your aim point on the runway threshold. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare.
Aren't I aligned with the runway?
Well, the AI autopilot didn't land the plane for me.
Oh, there's the one.
That's a problem.
I'm losing speed. Why am I losing speed? All right.
Yeah. Holding in B.
Oh, I'm pushing ahead to...
So Conrad, I'm assuming you've got a flight stick and all that good stuff for this. Did you have to get a new one for Microsoft Flight Simulator, or was the one that you had
It,
compatible?
but if he's playing on the computer, isn't it just the Series X and S that had the specific one?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying.
This is gonna be rough.
Reduce throttle to idle.
Yeah. I hear the bells and whistles. Thanks, lady.
Now,
We blew up again. Just saying. I don't understand how it looks like I'm lined up.
my first instructor used to say, the best part of flying is landing in one piece. Today, you're in charge of bringing us in for a safe landing.
Okay.
And I've already set us up in landing configuration at 65 knots with 10 degrees of
Why is my
flaps and
plane
idle
not
power.
slowing down?
Keep your aim point on the runway threshold. When you're 10 feet above
There
the
we go.
runway, it's
Okay.
time to flare.
All right, we're good. Oh no.
Oh, Conrad said he was away for a second. He was wondering what you're saying. Something about your yoke and stuff, I think.
Coming in too fast. Just slow down. Now it's threatening to stall. Oh no. Alright. Alright. Come on. Just make it another few hundred feet. Oh no. And we crashed.
Like, to me, I look like I'm lined up.
I missed the runway by about 200
Oh, really?
meters. And smashed on my land. Oh, my landing gear didn't get smashed off. Okay. How do you turn off my engine? Oh no, put the landing gear back down, dude. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, this is so bad.
Reduce
Well, you
throttle
know,
to idle.
they say any landing you can walk away from is a good one.
Now focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it. Nice. Now apply the brakes
Yeah, it didn't
to
crash
slow
that
us
time.
down and bring the plane to a stop.
You'll have to repeat what you're saying about the flight stick and stuff, Bri. To Conrad, he missed it.
No, I was just wondering whether or not you had to get one specific for
You did
Microsoft
well,
Flight Simulator.
but you can do better. Keep in mind that approaching the runway at the right speed
Or
is
like
key
the
to
one
a
you
good landing.
have.
I gotta-
Was it okay?
Yeah, because like basically when Brian was looking at like the flight sticks, the one that they recommend for that's compatible for the Xbox Series S and X is the HOTUS 1 or whatever, and it's not even out yet. And there was a couple other ones that were going to be compatible with it for Flight Simulator and Xbox One X or S, but they're not available. They're not even released yet. So he wondered if on the computer, if you had to have a specific one or if what you had worked. I'll take it. The one he has works on PC. He doesn't know about Xbox. So,
Gotcha.
well, there's something, Brian. Which would you rather do it on, Xbox or PC?
I don't know.
Because if Xbox and PC can play together,
Yeah. Yeah.
follow a traffic pattern to prepare for landing. Oh, I have to turn downwind 80 knots, flap at 10 degrees, turn to base at 6,000 feet, then go to 65 knots, turn to final 5,700 feet, final, oh my God. I'm not expecting anything spectacular out of this one, folks. I'm just going to put that out there. All right.
Okay, we're currently flying on the downwind leg at the standard traffic pattern altitude of 6,000 feet. It's a flight path
Right,
parallel
right.
to the landing runway, but in the opposite direction. In downwind, you want to start preparing for landing. That means setting your speed and flaps configuration. Reduce speed to 80 knots. Maintain constant altitude and heading. The flaps provide extra lift at the expense of additional drag. This extra lift allows flying at a lower airspeed. Flaps allow for smoother and shorter landings. Go ahead and extend 10 degrees of flaps, all while maintaining current altitude.
I don't know how to do flaps.
We're gonna fly past the end of the runway here. Keep going until you see it at a 45-degree angle behind you. That's your cue to turn left onto the base leg. Turn left onto the base leg.
This is so much easier in VR. I don't know why you're complaining. What the issue is here with my plane?
Try to maintain 1400 RPM. That'll also keep our speed around 65 knots. Turn left onto final. Keep an eye on the runway as we get ready for our final turn. Make your left turn onto final.
Okay.
Keep a stabilized approach and prepare for landing.
I don't see the runway. Oh shit, I'm not even remotely in the rate.
You need to stay in the pattern
I'm
for
on
the sake of this
Xbox.
exercise. Keep a stabilized approach and prepare for landing.
We're on Xbox.
Apply the brakes and stop the plane.
Landed. You can use the mouse to click around the cockpit. That was not a spectacular adventure.
You followed the traffic pattern well. Good
Oh,
job.
she liked it. Gonna be shocker. You can use a mouse. Well, on the Xbox, I don't have a mouse. I just got my controller. Now, what's the next thing? Solo flight. Here we go. I've trained for this, she says. Oh, look at this. Oh dear. This looks, yeah.
It's time. Your
My
first solo flight.
Brian.
I'll be watching from the ground in radio contact.
Good luck.
if you
Oh,
need
she's
me.
not even in the plane with
But
me.
something tells me you won't. Your goal is to complete Sedona's left-hand traffic pattern on your own. Remember what we covered in our previous
Nope.
sessions, and
Don't
you'll be
remember
just
that.
fine. Good luck. See you on the other side.
I have to get to 55 knots so I can take off. Alright. And we want to get up to 5,700 feet. Get up to 75 knots.
Did you see that Prime Minister Trudeau was here today and announced $10 a day daycare?
No.
Mm. So, Meredith McDonald posted. She goes, I think it's great. Except my youngest kid just finished daycare last week.
Yeah. Like, where was this years ago?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna fly her to the Confederation Bridge.
You're gonna fly, just say underneath.
No, out to. I'm gonna go see it.
You gotta go put the boy to bed. I can fly almost any night with you guys except tonight because my gig of fiber's purpose right now. I'm only downloading it at 10. It wasn't the fastest to download for us, whether it's just because it's busy. It may not be your internet. It could be them.
Mm. Yeah, I think everybody in the world is currently trying to grab this. But yeah, that sounds good.
Me, I'm flying, Brian. Maintain 6,000 feet and 80 knots. You'd think 6,000 would be on the 6. I don't understand that. I'll have to get Conrad to explain that to me.
Mm-hmm.
You need to stay in the pattern for the sake of this exercise.
Alright. No. Okay. No. Such a fine line between having things where you need them to be and then not.
Are you still doing tutorial
Yeah.
stuff?
Fine. I'm gonna do my solo flight.
Nice. All right, I'm in Borden. Well, 5 kilometers outside of Borden. The way I'm flying, you must say I'm in Borden. I do not see the Confederation Bridge.
No? Alright,
Nope.
turning left for final approach.
Oh, there it is.
Land, maintain 65 knots. Oh, I'm going a little too fast there. rough. Sideways. Shit. It crashed. Shit. And I think I have to do that whole part again. I do. I have to take off and everything and do it all again.
It's time. Your first solo flight.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
really?
be watching from the ground in radio contact if you need
All
me.
right.
But something tells me
All
you
right, the
won't.
Confederation Bridge is pretty
Your
cool.
Yeah.
goal is to complete Sedona's left-hand traffic pattern
Yeah.
on your own. Remember what we covered in our previous sessions, and you'll be just fine. Good luck. See you on the other side.
All right. Let's see if I can remember some of the things I had to do. All right. I have taken off. I have to reach 5,700 feet. And maintain 75 knots. I honestly don't know how to read this altimeter.
No?
All right. I have turned left for the tap button. Now, maintain 6,000 feet. 8 knots. Okay, I'm at 6,000 feet. I'm at 80 knots.
Okay.
He's back on the throttle some because I'm going faster than 80. 6.
You need to
What do
stay
you
in the
mean?
pattern for the sake of this exercise.
I'm doing what you're telling me to do, woman. God, I'm all over the place.
You need to stay in the pattern for the sake of this exercise.
This is beyond.
Yeah, I gave up a long time ago. It's a lot more fun just to fly.
Yeah, but this is the last one in that part, so I wanted to kind of.
Oh, yeah, okay, I get it.
And it's like a ways away. It's like.
You have to land? Is that what
You
you have
had to
do?
take off, fly almost like in an
Yeah.
oval, like turn at certain parts,
Yep.
and then land.
Yep.
And
Oh.
along the way, like right now, I have to maintain 6,000 feet and 80 knots and reach the end of the downward leg of the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turn left to go to the end of the base leg. There, we're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Heading towards the base leg. Maintain 65 knots and reduce power to 1400. Turn left for final approach. Turning left for final approach. Done. what, 65 knots? I have landed. It was a tad rough, but I
Nice.
made it back.
Good. That's good.
Now, I had done it before, and I think I got like a C or something.
You did well, but you can do better.
She's like, you did
You're
well,
on your way to
but
becoming
you
one
can do
hell of
better.
a pilot.
Yeah, of
I got a
course,
B.
right?
I'll take it. That means I got a B in everything in this section.
Nice.
So, I got all A's in the first part, all B's in the second part. Doesn't bode well for the next two.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll be right back. I need to use the washroom.
Yep.
I'm back.
All right.
Alright, so. VFR navigation. Learn about visual flight rules and how to use the world outside to navigate. The last part is airliner training. The giant planes.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like fun.
Main menu. Let's see. Continue. All right. Let's see. Discovery flights. Enjoy an easy airborne flight around iconic and beautiful locations. World map. Create a flight plan and explore the world in free flight mode. What one were you doing?
I go to world map
You just made your own flight?
and I select where I Mm-hmm.
Oh, look! There's your plane! Look,
Whose
if you
plane?
can look at the stream, when I hover over you, it says, that's you.
Oh, oh my god, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Johnsy's flying. Johnsy's over there somewhere.
Nice.
Keith's flying. Keith's over
That's
by San
kinda cool.
Francisco.
Yeah, I knew
And Wheels?
Keith was flying. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know it did that.
That's kind of cool.
Hmm.
So how do I...
Because we're not even in the same game, but
Look, there you were. You left Halifax. Yeah, I
did.
see you're flying.
In fact, now I'm flying. Well, I'm flying all over PEI. I'm coming in for a landing right now.
Okay, so if I want to select departure airport, can I?
Yep.
So if I say,
Go up there and no, see where it says select departure from up at the top? If you put your mouse up there, your controller up there, you can actually hit a drop down
yeah, that's what
menu.
we're trying to do. So is there a way to look for it? Halifax.
Yep. Or you can type in
Yeah, that's what
Halifax.
I don't see. Oh wait, Halifax. Halifax International. There it is.
That's
And
it.
I want to arrive at. Will it give me the right plane for the job?
I don't know, sis.
Like if I picked like a longer flight, would it wouldn't just give me like a little puddle jumper?
I don't think so.
All right, 93 nautical miles. Winds at 270 degrees at 2 knots in Halifax for takeoff.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm stalling.
All right, I'm about to fly.
All right.
Put your trays in the upright position. Get your barf bags ready.
Did you change the times, or are you going to be flying at night?
I didn't change the time. I didn't know I was supposed to.
And yeah, if not, it takes the real time and the real weather.
Oh, I'm
so-
flying at
Alpha
night.
Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra ready at runway 32 north departure.
Uh-oh.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra altimeter.
Well, here we go. All right. Oh, release the parking brake. Apply full throttle and keep aircraft straight. Well, you got high hopes there, buddy. I can't... Hold the phone. My dashboard isn't lit up. I can't read my instruments. How do I turn on the lights inside the cockpit?
I don't know. I landed at the Charlottetown airport.
Let's see. Microsoft. Flight Simulator Xbox. How to turn on lights inside cockpit.
You know, it could just be easy if you restart your flight again and set the time to be.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's talking me through it.
Oh, is this still the
No.
tutorial?
I just have it set to easy. But I can't read. Start. Main menu. I need to change it today. I don't know how to turn on the... And that arrow at the top isn't for lining things up. That's the thing where you can bring up your little menu.
Yeah.
All right.
That's left. Click down on the left stick.
Oh, is it? Okay. So I want to go from Halifax. From runway 32 specifically. Apparently you can change that.
Yeah. Now, when you get that set, then down
Yeah. It's...
in the bottom left corner.
All right, just a second. Sure. Where did it go? It took out my search. Of course, Charlottetown has to be loud as friggin' all get out to... Alright, so then...
Yeah, but once you do it once, it pretty much becomes one of your recents, and then it's much easier.
So go down to where now?
See down in the bottom left corner, basically from behind where you are on your screen, this should list a time.
Yes.
Yeah, go move that to the left.
Ah, there we go. Okay. Okay.
Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra ready for north departure at runway 32.
All right. Much easier when I can see the instruments.
Yeah, much.
Stay in line with the departure runway during initial climb. Okay.
Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra, continue for north departure.
Okay.
Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra continue for north departure.
How high up do I have to be? I wonder.
I don't know.
I have no objectives. I guess I'm just flying for now. After completing the initial phase of takeoff, my team is steady ready to climb to reach cruise altitude. I don't know what my cruise altitude is. I guess it doesn't matter really.
No.
Here's Enfield.
Yep.
I have a problem. It's now put me on the right side of the plane.
Yeah, I usually hit the back button so I can just view it from outside the plane. Find flying easy.
Airspeed. Oh, that's so much easier. Because it tells me my altitude.
Yeah.
The only thing is you don't see if you're on the horizon, like the... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix what my issue was.
What was your
Well,
issue?
when I'm inside the plane, they have me on the right-hand side instead of the left now.
Oh, God. Seems weird. Different plane?
No, it moved me from the left to the right while I was in it. I hit something, I don't know what I hit.
Yeah, that is weird.
The second I click on the stick to bring up that menu, I start veering off to the left.
Yeah. This is what my problem was with the tutorial.
It's like you lose control of your plane when you're...
Yep, the minute you let go of it, it bounces all over the place.
AI pilot says it's currently flying the aircraft. It says.
Yeah, I turned on the AI.
No, but it's... Thanks for the follow, Mark Gamer 1. No, the thing is, though, it's not flying the plane properly. Here's in your book. I changed the camera angle and I don't like that. So if I go back into the cockpit, go here. Why does it take me back to Halifax?
I don't know.
There we go. I reset my camera. Alright, so now I'll go back out and loop around. Hope I'm going to have enough gas here.
Mm.
Can I follow you too, please? Well, I don't know. He said please, so I'll think about it.
Wow.
But at the same time, yeah, you know. Just, Alright, heading back towards Indianbrook. I wonder how high I'm supposed to be. Or is it just a personal choice?
Personal choice.
I'm kind of wishing they had kept a thing like in the tutorial when they were trying to teach you like to for the horizon, like the ascent and the descent lines and stuff. I'm kind of wishing that was on the window
Yeah.
all the time.
Right?
We're cruising. Gotta pull up. I'm getting a little low.
Yeah, you don't want that.
See, they should have, instead of this dial, the altimeter, they should have how when you're on the outside, it should give you the actual feet.
Yeah.
What is this AOA thing?
AOA.
Like on my screen when I'm outside, there's AOA, and like, is that if the blue circle lights up, I'm like right level with the horizon?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
Sorry.
I go back. I don't know. Something to ask Conrad, whatever he's available.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take notes from what they're asking.
Why? Because I need to be able to see that horizon thing.
Are you flying to Charlottetown?
Yep.
Cool.
Sure am.
Nice.
The bird's coming up on my left.
Nice. I think this game's gonna be relaxing once we get past all the tutorials.
Oh, once we get past, yeah, once you get past all that stuff. And I think too, the controllers aren't going to be too bad once we get used to it. I think. But yeah, it's the tutorial stuff. I think is a little frustrating, but it could also be a case of it doesn't port well. Oh, I just tilted my plane a little bit. Like it could just be a case of some things don't transition well from the PC.
Yeah.
And once we get used to the stuff, you'll know. Like it might depend on the planes you use too and what you're doing. It might not make a difference. Some of the stuff that they're trying to teach you.
Yeah.
Is it real time?
Yes.
Really?
Yep. So you're looking at, I don't know what you're looking at. How long? But I don't know how long it is with the plane you took.
So if I wanted to fly to Tinks's place, might
Yeah.
be a while.
It won't be that point, I'll tell you that.
So is there actually cars down the road?
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Mm.
AAPXLLO. That's my first solo flight. Is there any way to do this like in Farm Simulator where you can set the time to be faster?
I don't know. I don't know.
61 nautical miles away. Still.
Yeah. I'm playing Madden, playing against the 49ers. Not that the CPU 49ers play anywhere near the way Slippy does, but I figured, you know,
Practice.
first 3 drives they went 3 and out. They just went 74 yards in 5 plays. I couldn't stop them this time. Yeah. Well, things went 74 yards and then out of 80 total yards offense. So for the first 3 drives, I turned them.
Put up the throttle here.
What is he doing?
I don't know if to drop something. I kicked my plane into high gear here, see if it'll help me get where we're gonna go faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost like, what are you playing? Hey, Joe, Rewind, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Caught us mid-flight. Flying from Halifax, Nova Scotia to Charlotte, PEI. Little plane here.
My hometown.
Yeah. Can you get, like, can you change the color of your planes and stuff?
Yep, there's different libraries.
There's different what?
Skins and
Yeah.
stuff.
They cost money though?
Libraries. No. You go into your hangar.
Tower Cessna
There's a
Alpha
spot that you
Sierra
can change
X-ray
some of
Golf
your.
Is
Sierra.
that-
I mean, you can't go in and put
Request
your own
clearance
paint
to
jobs,
transition
but-
Bravo airspace.
The tower just said something to me. I don't know what it is. I think I'm getting switched from Halifax's tower to our tower.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because, yeah, some of these planes are pretty plain. No pun intended. Pretty plain.
Yeah.
Cursor mode until press L to toggle on one cursor mode. The left stick controls the cursor and A is just select. Yeah, okay, that's all well and good. But when I turn that on, you start sending me back to somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
Yeah.
Now it says time approach. 50 whatever. Is that maybe it's not nautical miles, maybe it's like nautical minutes.
I don't know. First day new game.
Yeah, you gave me this. I'm also assuming I'm going to the right place. We shall see. I haven't crossed the Northern Strait yet.
Oh, really?
Not yet.
Do you even see it?
I might be coming up to it here shortly.
Hey. There's not a lot of land. No, you're nowhere near it.
Oh my god. I am at because there's the windmills.
So you're in Amherst?
Yeah.
There you go.
I see the windmills. The windmills are on the left. Or on the right, sorry.
Hmm. That's cool.
Yeah, because there's, if I hit left bumper A, Colchester subdivision.
There you go.
Subdivision B. Yeah, all the windmills.
Nice. I just threw an interception. That's helpful. Especially since it was my first drive of the second half.
So yeah, I see the water now.
Hmm.
this takes time, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you would have took like a jet, it would have been in 35 minutes.
I just took the plane that they gave me. I didn't know I could change the planes.
Oh yeah. You can
I'm
change
in like
the
a little
planes.
two-seater.
Yeah.
With a puddle jumper.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if I can find our house in Pleasant.
Okay.
At this rate, I'll get there sometime tomorrow.
Yep.
I should have took a faster plane.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't think it was that far.
It's alright.
It's much quieter inside the plane.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're about to hit open water.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah. But I think I'd have to I'd have to go off my course to go see the Confed Bridge.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I'm trailing at 110 knots.
Just zoom it.
2400. Oh, we're dropping. Hold on. It's not even the Confed Bridge that's the landmark thing or point of interest when I hit left bumper in A. It's Fox Harbor.
Really? Huh.
35.55 nautical miles or nautical minutes, whichever it is. The water even looks like it has current in it. Like,
Yeah, if you think this is good, you should see the PC version.
well, I don't even have a 4K monitor, so I'm just looking at it on regular too.
Yeah.
Are you gonna? Don't forget to set it up to download on your X.
Yeah.
So I know you were getting frustrated with this technical stuff. I mean, it is frustrating. Keep playing up. It is a little frustrating. But at the same time,
Yeah.
once you figure it out, even if you don't pass the stuff, if you figure out what it is they're telling you to do, you can just turn around and like,
Yeah.
be interested to see how multiplayer works though. I'll have to do the tutorial though about how to fly the big jets because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
It looks like there's something in the water.
Yeah, it looks like an island in the boat.
It's kind of weird being over the water because it's hard to tell when I can't see the land. I'm gonna
Yep.
go back in the cockpit and look at the. Until I get back to landing, it's a little easier to figure out if you're up and down and.
Yeah.
I'm bobbing up and down a little bit. Like if that had been in the tutorial, she'd be like, "No,
Yeah,
your
exactly.
plane is in danger."
Mhm.
Is it that? Toggle on audio signal of marker beacon. What the hell is that do? I wonder.
I
I don't know.
don't
I'm
know.
just
That sounds
I'm
interesting.
cruising. I'm just cruising along, but I got my thing inside the cockpit and I'm like hovering over all the different things.
Mm,
Now probably would not be the time to calibrate that attitude.
no.
Incorrect heading. Set the heading indicator. Oh? What? What's this now? That's my speed. Altimeter calibration. I don't know what crap that is. I see PEI. And at first I was like, what is it so
Do ya?
blurry in front of me? But it's the propeller on the front of the plane.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you for the follow, Altio Paldio. Thank you. Sorry if I butchered your name. At least when I get to PEI, I can pick out things I know.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna come in over Woodham.
Yeah, I see. Unless I want to loop around.
Yeah, so unless you want to move around.
Once I get there on land, that might be it for my flying for tonight.
Yeah. I'm gonna play one more game of football since I'll probably need to do that in the time it's gonna take me to get there. And then when you're
I
done.
hope it doesn't take me that long to get there.
You know, when all this stuff gets all straight, the world and stuff, we should go see an NFL game.
We should what?
Go see an NFL game.
An NFL game.
Yeah. Even if it's an exhibition. I think Buffalo plays an exhibition game in Toronto every once in a while.
Correct heading indicator. Set the heading indicator. Press set heading indicator. I don't know. I don't know what that is supposed to be.
Just flyer, okay.
.87 nautical miles or minutes or whatever.
Nice.
Hot 65. This looks like it's in the
Oh,
water.
you're getting close.
Why are you beeping? Why are you beeping? No beeping. I would be some sour if I crashed right now.
Yeah.
I don't think my gas gauge has moved either.
No?
No.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's at 50%. We'll see if it changes anytime soon.
What, the gas gauge?
indicator. Set the heading indicator. Press set heading indicator. Okay, so where do I press set heading indicator?
I do not know.
Pause. Because maybe I'm not going where I'm supposed to be going. Microsoft.
Shit.
Incorrect. Heading indicator.
Excuse me.
Most likely your heading indicator is misaligned to your compass. This is a common instrument error in the real world and requires correcting before every flight. There should be a small round knob near your heading indicator. Find your magnetic heading from your compass and align your heading indicator to that reading using the knob. All right, well, I'm not going to worry about that right now because once we get over the old PEI here, we can just go find the airport.
Yeah.
Press A to interact. We'll just go with what we got for you. 10.4.
Closer.
There's Stratford.
Hey, Stratford. I don't think you're gonna aim right if you're in Stratford, but
And
whatever.
that can't be right there. That's Stratford.
We're, yeah, you're just keep heading to the right. Though. You're all right.
What?
Keep heading to the right. You're all right.
No, but where it's indicating, that's not the airport.
Yeah, it is.
But if this is Stratford, right?
Yes.
The airport should be over this way.
Where it's at. No, it shouldn't. It should be where they say it is. Because you're heading into Charlottetown.
Right, there's Charlottetown, right?
Where?
Right below me.
Yeah. Right. It's right.
Okay, I suppose. Because you would go from our place Yeah, then you'd have to turn and drive out, I suppose.
See?
Yeah. It just seemed like it would be off. Let's see if I see our house. There's the racetrack. There's the hospital. Let's go down. No, Brian, it shouldn't be that far out. There's our subdivision. Is there
Well, then, yeah, the airport shouldn't be that far.
what?
The airport shouldn't be. Okay, there's the hospital. There's our subdivision. Yeah, the airport should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why it's saying incorrect heading indicator. Because there's the airport
Could
right
be.
there. So if I go here, unless it wants me to go here and then I'll turn to come in from the other way.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens when I get there, and if not, I'll just loop around to the airport.
Yeah.
That's our house.
Nice.
And my gas is still 50%. So because I'm on easy, I bet you it's not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's got me turning. Oh yeah, because it's got me turning to come in from the back, I think.
Yep.
Okay, so it had to be looping around. So, which runway do they want me on? Can I come in on any runway?
Yeah. I don't see one.
No. out, turn around, and come back in on the main runway.
Alright, good luck.
Bring this down. Slow it down. I know the heading's incorrect. Thank you for telling me. You've been telling me for ages. Coming in for a landing. She could be a bumpy ride. Oh dear. Guess what?
What? Oh, you did it?
Reduce speed to 50
Nice.
knots and exit the runway.
Yep, so you're going to want to hit B to slow
Yeah.
down.
Uh-oh. I don't know where I'm going here. Oh, now I'm on the takeoff one. I don't want to be on this one. Holding short before entering the runway. Visually confirm there's out. Can I just, we're going to turn around. No, we're not. We're going off the runway. Oh, what the hell? Let's take off again. We're just going to take off. We're not going to even ask the tower.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll loop around and figure out where I gotta go.
Indeed.
Apparently it wanted me to go over there. I don't know why.
It's weird.
Alright.
Charlie Yankee Yankee Golf traffic Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf
no.
Sierra 1 miles south 800 feet inbound to land runway 28.
Land runway 28. Okay. Alright, so runway 28. Maybe I was at the wrong one.
Maybe.
Let's just cruise for a second and see what this is labeled as. That's runway 28. So that's the one we want to land on.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna go out. Upside down. I don't understand this correct.
Yeah, it's weird. You're really high at the moment.
Lots of runway here, Brian. Lots of runway.
Look at that.
No! Alright. Thanks for the follow, Totrix. Now. No, 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 no. I don't want to request takeoff. I want off the runway. I don't. So, alright, I've landed. Good enough.
Now you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, what?
Because normally you taxi into the airport.
Where though?
That's what they want you to do. See, it's up there on your right.
Okay, so can I just keep going?
Yep.
Because see, now it's saying request takeoff clearance from our ATC tower, but I don't want to take off again.
Yeah. No.
Okay, so there's a road here where I can turn in.
Yep.
Slow down. Why am I... I'm just trying to slow her down, but it's not, It keeps pulling me. I wonder if auto would ever took over because I'm not doing anything.
Could be.
I have landed. I stopped myself.
Nice.
Alright. Thus concludes our flight for this evening.
Hope you all made it
Yes.
safely.
So, I appreciate anyone who watched. Appreciate the support this evening. Be back on tomorrow night. Don't know if we'll be doing Flight Simulator. Might do some Splitgate. But yeah. So, thanks for hanging out. And good luck on the treasure box if you're entered into it.